Ever wondered what medical payments coverage entails and its potential benefits? This inquiry is not merely thought-provoking, but also indispensable if you own a vehicle. Medical payments coverage, familiarly referred to as MedPay, is a supplementary aspect of auto insurance. It's structured to assist in covering medical bills for you and your passengers in the regrettable circumstance of a car mishap. And the twist, it functions irrespective of who is at fault. That's correct. Even if you bear the blame for the accident, MedPay intervenes to alleviate the burden of those intimidating medical expenses. From hospital appointments, surgical procedures to radiography and other essential medical care, MedPay could be your safeguard. Thus, while deciphering the often puzzling realm of auto insurance, keep MedPay in mind as a possible support system. Now that you're familiar with MedPay, let's explore its coverage and benefits in depth. What exactly does MedPay cover, and how can it benefit you? Well, let's dive right in. Medical payments coverage, or MedPay for short, is a pretty comprehensive coverage option. It typically covers medical expenses that you or your passengers might incur due to a car accident. This includes, but is not limited to, hospital visits, surgery, x-rays, and other necessary medical treatments. Picture this: you've had an accident and you're rushed to the hospital. You're okay, but you need a few stitches. MedPay can cover that. Or perhaps you've had a more serious accident that requires surgery or long-term care. MedPay can cover that too. It's like a safety net, catching you when you fall. And the best part? MedPay kicks in regardless of who's at fault in the accident. It's there for you, even when things don't go as planned on the road. So MedPay can truly be a lifesaver, but it's also important to understand its scope and limits. Knowing the scope and limits of MedPay is crucial to understanding how much coverage you have. Let's delve a bit deeper into this. MedPay, at its core, is designed to cover medical expenses resulting from a car accident. This may include costs like hospital visits, surgeries, x-rays, and other necessary medical treatments. The coverage extends to you and your passengers, regardless of who's at fault. But how do you determine the coverage limit? Well, when you opt for MedPay, you choose your coverage limit. This is the maximum amount your insurer will pay for each person injured in an accident. Coverage limits can range from $1,000 to up to $25,000 or more, depending on your insurer and the policy you select. Remember, while MedPay can be incredibly beneficial, it may also have some exclusions or limitations. So it's always wise to read the fine print before making a decision. Are there any exclusions or limitations to MedPay coverage? Now that's a question that needs some attention. While MedPay can be a lifesaver, it's not a magic wand. There can be certain exclusions or limitations associated with your coverage. For instance, some policies may not cover chiropractic care or alternative therapies. MedPay typically covers necessary medical treatments following a car accident, but it's crucial to understand what necessary means in the eyes of your insurer. Some treatments deemed non-essential by your insurance provider may not be covered. It's also worth noting that MedPay may not cover medical expenses that exceed your coverage limit. So if your limit is, say, $5,000 and your medical bills rack up to $7,000, you'll need to find a way to cover that extra $2,000. Understanding these limitations is essential when purchasing a policy. But how does MedPay work with other insurances? How does MedPay coordinate with other health insurance policies or personal injury protection (PIP) coverage? A great question, and one that can bring a lot of clarity to how your insurance coverage works. So let's dive in. MedPay is designed to work in harmony with your existing health insurance or personal injury protection coverage. It's like a helpful sidekick, stepping in to cover medical expenses that your primary insurance might not fully cover. Imagine it as an extra layer of financial protection. It's important to note that the coordination of benefits between MedPay and other insurance types can vary based on your specific policies and the insurance regulations in your state. In some situations, MedPay can act as a primary coverage, paying first before other insurances. In others, it might function as a secondary coverage, kicking in after other policies have paid their share. So, MedPay can be a valuable addition to your insurance coverage, providing additional protection in the event of a car accident.